motion by Helmut.
Welcome to Minutes by Minute. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we're here to talk about what goes on in the village, the township. You know, there's government people that make laws and regulations that affect you out there.
That's right, Elgin. And whether you live in the village of Oxford, the village of Leonard, Addison Township, or Oxford Township, these are the people that, well, you went and elected. And the committees and the commissions that make decisions that directly affected you, whether you chose to go to that important meeting or not. And that's why we're here.
Right, partially. And one of us here to make rumors. That'd be this guy, pretty much. So watch
Wait a
really,
minute.
really close as we go through this. Okay.
They're true.
True. Right. You know, there's going to be a special election, I think, coming up in a year and a half, maybe, from now.
But
There will be.
if it's a special election, why is it
Special
a year and a half?
Because it's special.
and who will be involved?
Well, I think maybe the Oxford TV station, OCC TV, might be one of the people, you know, on the ballot this next go around. I think Parks and Recreation is looking, you know, to be on the ballot also.
Oh,
So that's why they call it a special election, because there's special people that are,
because there's money involved.
yeah, and that is special, is it not? Okay, well, let's talk about a few meetings that went on, shall we? And
Okay.
here's the point. These meetings that we're going to talk about, they're kind of condensed versions of what you would see. Many times you sit in a meeting, let's say the planning commission for the township or for the village, it can run for 15 minutes.
Well, if it's a, torches and pitchforks
2 hours.
meeting, it could go forever.
Right.
But if you want that,
Right.
you can go to occtv.org,
Yeah.
and we have every one of those meetings on our website.
We do. And
Just click on programs. It's all in reverse date order.
how far do they run? I mean, how far do you compile those?
Well, we
That
don't
could-
want the bucket to overflow, so we eliminate our programs after 400 days.
400 days? That's plenty of
Whatever.
information out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what we got going here. The condensed version is coming up, and we try to insert a little bit of humor because actually the insertion is already there. If you haven't attended any of these meetings, you will find that there's lots of humor, and it kind of bubbles to the top or sinks to the bottom.
That's right.
We drag it out, don't we?
Yes, we do. And we enjoy every minute of it.
We do, yes. Okay. Well, along with David, we're going to talk about the village meeting that came up, the village council meeting on March 12th, and also the village of Leonard council meeting. So we had 2 council meetings that we were covering. Of course, this station covers Addison Township as well as Oxford Township. And the
Addison
villages.
Township, Leonard,
Mhm, a little bit,
everybody.
the village
4 municipalities.
municipalities.
No, 4 municipalities.
Yeah, those guys. Don't want to leave them out. Anyway, here we go. For the village council, Joe Frost, of course, is the village president. Mr. Bailey is the vice president. Helmuth serves on this board, has for a number of years. New member Logan serves on the board. She does a great job, by the way, on the
that her first
village
name?
council. No, that's her last name. I can't recall what her first name is, but it is there. Take a note.
Just thought I'd throw that in.
Long time since you've not taken a note. Take a
That's
note.
right.
Okay. Anyway, she's going to be, you watch her. She's very knowledgeable. I think she provides a good input, to these meetings. Kemp is another new member that's serving on this board. Of course, Terry Onika, who's the clerk, she was there doing the honors for secretary, and Joel Madure, who is the village manager.
Right.
All those people there in a huddle. Little cuddle, little huddle.
Yep.
Anyway, that's what it was. Excuse me, did the Pledge of Allegiance. The agenda was approved immediately. Public hearing, Michigan Passport Recreation Grant. Was interesting. It was actually just an approval by the board. It was no big deal.
What is that?
And it's a public amount of funds that are available.
Is that the little bit
It's
that
a
you
little
pay
bit.
on your driver's license when you get it renewed to check off the
passport. For the
passport? And that goes into a pile that's reallocated?
It goes into a smaller pile, becomes a big pile.
I see.
Starts with a small pile. Depends on who's leaving the country. Right now, nobody wants to
Oh,
leave
I
the
just wonder
country.
what
They
the
want to
source
come into the
of the
country.
money was,
Right.
and good work, we got some of it.
We do. But like I was pointing out, most people don't want to leave. They want to come in, but they don't want to leave.
I see.
Right. There's a good reason for that, you know. So anyway, so that was covered very quickly. Snow and ice removal. We've talked about that one again. Well,
In the spring,
it is spring right now. Since yesterday, it's been spring. So
now we're talking about snow and ice. Isn't it a little late?
well, now is a good time to talk about it because it's not lying all over the place. At least hopefully not. Now I can recall years past where it actually snowed in May.
Why are they
So-
allocating monies for buying salt?
Well, they have salt, but they went through an awful lot, you know, in the village this year, as well as the township. Actually, the township, all your roads are taken care of by the Oakland County Road Commission. It's
But the
not-
village is the village.
The village is the village. And actually, appropriation of salt funds are made available through the township to the road commission as well.
I understand the price of salt has gone up quite a bit.
Yeah, may have. It probably would have. They're probably shipping that in now. Do they
Yeah.
have salt here in the United States? I think they do.
Are you kidding? I think Detroit was built on
I'm
salt.
pretty sure it was, yeah. So anyway, talk about salt, there you have it. So anyway, the snow removal, the ordinance number 409 was second read and approved. One resident, though, before it was approved, stood up and she said that she wanted to know how many tickets were given out, you know. And Joe Madure, the village manager, he answered 60 tickets were given out. And he said,
In what period of time?
in one day, roughly. You know, during the last major snowstorm where people didn't clean up the sidewalks and the drives and things like that, where
Oh,
people were
wow.
walking in the parking lots.
So what's the impact of a ticket?
Impact of the ticket, it can start out with a first offense where they actually get a warning now, but they weren't then. They were originally, when it was instated, they were immediately fined $25.
Ah,
May have even been $50, but they did revise that in the latest conversation that this council had.
so
you
it's
know, the
two
members.
strikes and you're out now?
Well, the way it is now, you get a warning for the first time. If you don't clean it up within a certain period of time, it's $25 for the offense, the first offense. Second offense becomes a $50 charge. Now, here's somebody that doesn't really listen. Beyond that, for the third offense, $75, and it can go as high as $500 beyond that point. So they do give you quite an opportunity to clean up the snow and the ice and so forth.
How many tickets do you have to have before you hit 500? Just want to know. You know.
I think you just compile them and stack them like you do your little notes over there until they get so high. Then you take them into the village manager and say, "What do I do with these?" Well, he'll probably tell you.
Well,
what to do
your
with
first
them, all
move
right?
is your credit card or your checkbook, sir.
That's for sure. Yep. So anyway, so they've got the ice thing under control and the snow. So that's the way it's going to work, folks. So keep in mind that you get a first warning. But if you see them coming with a first warning, you better listen, pay attention, because otherwise you can see that train coming and it's sucking cash out of you, because it'll do that. Okay. Then what came up was, let me see. Oh, call to public. Anybody want to speak? And they all looked at their shoes and they all looked around and nobody wanted to speak.
Nobody
And-
hear about us mice.
and it's a good opportunity for us to say, well, we'll speak when we come back right after this.
You're watching OCTV from the new studio.
This spring on OCTV, your home for all Wildcat sports.
Weekdays 4 to 6:30 and weekends 12:30 to 6:30.
OCTV Sports, where it's more than just about the score.
Welcome back to Minutes by Minute. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we are talking about the village council meeting that occurred on, let me see, it was March 12th. Now we're going to talk about the consent agenda, correspondence, letters, reports, those kind of things in the minutes. And the minutes were approved for February 12th, 2019. Bills in the amount of, now get this, $534,696.25. $1.27.
Wow,
That's
someone shook the tree.
Yeah, that's the largest bill I've seen, in some time.
Where did a lot of that go?
Check your paycheck.
I see.
Oh, sure. But I have no idea. They have a list of it, and you folks want to learn more detail, you know how to get it, right?
Yeah.
How? I'm not saying how.
Well, you can
People
either
solving.
check our website.
Yeah, which with
What?
OCCTV.org. Okay. And then you see all this stuff out there, you can review it. So the bills were approved as well. And the treasurer's report was also received and filed. Unfinished business? Okay. Block grant, CDBG.
Community Development Block Grant.
Very good. Boy, you're really coming along here.
I got flashcards.
Okay, flashcards. Flashes right in front of you. There
That's
it is.
right.
Okay. So anyway, CDBG, and there's $3,100 available for somebody. And there were 3 organizations that spoke up, and the 3 were Love Incorporated. They're out of Oakland County. And then there's FISH, which we know FISH is an organization right here in Oxford.
That's right. Fish are in their new digs now.
They are. And it's quite an operation, too, I
Yeah.
understand they have going there. Then there's Heaven, or Haven, I'm sorry, I said Heaven. It's probably partially Heaven.
Haven
It's
is in
You know what Haven
Pontiac,
is.
yes, yeah.
Haven is in Pontiac. And let me see, what did they do? And of course, that's a women's shelter.
Right.
And they do a lot of good, out there. And what was approved, when all was said and done, there's quite a conversation about these different groups and different representatives that stood up to talk about their organizations. They finally approved, though, unanimously, Haven, as
Oh.
the recipient of the $3,100. Now, there was conversation about, could it be split up and so forth, and they decided, in the past, they haven't split it like that.
How much money was involved?
$3,100.
Okay.
Nice little piece of change coming in. Burdick Street paving project. A bid award was given to Seal Coat with a low bid out of Birmingham, Michigan.
Birmingham Seal Coat.
Birmingham, yep. Seal Coat. And let me see, that was approved immediately after due consideration. There weren't a lot of people that made a bid on it. This was the lowest bid. So, and they've done work for the village before. Very satisfactory, the type of work that they did. So there was no hesitancy in approving this one. Village officials parking lot. Building removed? Maybe, not sure.
What
There's
building?
2 plans. In other words, there's a storage building in behind the administrative building right now, Oxford.
Well, it's a big garage,
Village.
yeah.
It's a big garage. The police department uses it, the local police.
I think some organizations used it too for meetings, but
They did.
now that we have a new community center,
Yes, and I think, these groups that were using it, as a community effort, they, it was declared not a good thing, by the fire department in terms of safety. So that's the reason why that was eliminated. And then, of course, the thought is to eliminate the building completely and make it parking lot. But they haven't really made
or
a
a
decision.
parking structure. Have
Or
you
a
ever
parking-
seen
yeah.
the parking on Friday night down
Yes,
there?
right. I have looked for a place to park. I've driven around till I ran out of gas, pushed my car into the middle of the street and hoping that the police department would pick me up and park me. But anyway, it's pretty much that way. It's very difficult on a Friday or Saturday, particularly. So, and actually the master plan shows a garage. to
A
be built,
garage or a parking
multi-level
structure?
Parking structure.
Okay.
Yep. So that would be a plan.
Well, there's
But
a garage there now.
Yeah, but there's one hesitancy.
What's that?
Money.
No.
Yes. Now, actually, I've heard a rumor, this would be a rumor.
But
I don't know,
actually,
you may have
they've
started it.
allocated a lot of money, I think, towards the new city streets. What do they call it?
Infrastructure?
No. The whole MDOT thing that's coming through. and
M24
Yeah.
project?
I think there's money allocated for that.
There is, but that money is not to be used, for building a parking structure.
That's
Now-
what I was saying.
But, right, okay, but here's the deal. Actually, a parking structure would be a good thing for somebody who's an entrepreneur, has the cash, doesn't know what to do with it, won $100 million in the lottery, in Oxford would be a good place for it, because
That's right.
that garage would be full all the time.
Well, yeah, and you can get in for free, but getting out is another thing.
And that's the point I want to make too, is that there's some great eating places and great places to shop downtown in Oxford, and that's why people swarm in. I mean,
They
it's
do.
just a tremendous amount of people that come into Oxford to enjoy, the fruits of what we have to offer here.
It's
Great.
like you circle around that parking lot like musical chairs.
That was me.
Oh,
Right. So anyway, you don't want to give up though. Eventually somebody will be leaving. I see the sun coming up. There's a parking spot. You can go in there and make sure you get
you and 3 other people rushing for it.
Yeah, right. That could happen. I'm not at all sure about that, but it could. Okay. So that takes care of that. They're not sure exactly if the garage is going to remain or not, but there's 2 plans available that was reviewed by rural engineers. Rural engineers do a lot of this kind of work, for the village. And so the decision hasn't really been made to remove that building yet, or to put a parking lot in there, or what they're going to do.
Well, they've
So
been
it's
talking
kinda
about
sitting on
that
it.
for, a great number of years.
Yes, they have. Now, recreational marijuana, next subject. Can you say smoking? Anyway, no decision has
As
been
opposed
made.
to serious marijuana? I
Right.
don't know. Why do they call it that?
I have no idea, right? But anyway, they're still contemplating what to do with this. New legislation has come about by the vote of the people. And the point is made that the village, people that live in the village, the overwhelming majority want to have recreation marijuana. So are they going to have structures, brick and mortar, in which these marijuana will be sold?
Didn't the township vote it down?
The township did vote it down, 100%. So it will not be brick and mortar buildings located selling marijuana.
So you'll
in
have
the
this little
township.
enclave of weed.
Yeah, if they approve it. But here's the thing, it's
What?
only got to be so far a distance away from schools and that kind of thing, and educational, facilities. So, which means that it would have to more likely be south of town, rather than right in the heart of town.
Okay.
So those are things that the council is working over and trying to determine what to do here. Outdoor sales was the other thing. Ordinance adoption for the second reading was approved. And that's for folks that want to display their goods in front of their buildings, brick and mortar. And there's certain requirements depending on where you're located as far as the district you're in or the zoning.
How far you can push the envelope.
That's true. Now, the snow and ice removal ordinance, we did just touch on it briefly on item ordinance 409. It was approved. So what we talked about here in terms of fines and everything, it's now going to be implemented. Not this year,
When
next year.
they approve a new ordinance that has some impact, do they post it? And
Oh, yes. It'll be in the newspaper also.
Right.
I mean, it'll be in the leader.
Okay.
And it'll be posted on the wall too, in the administrative building.
post it on your next tax bill?
Yeah, they'll probably do that. They'll let you know. Okay, there's no way you can get away. Speaking of no way to get away, I'll be back right after this, folks.
See you then.
Can't get away. Welcome back to Minutes by Minute. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
Yes, he is. He's Dave Kinney. And we have been talking about the village of Oxford and what went on at that village council meeting. A lot of things happened, and you can gain more information by going to occtv.org and catching the whole meeting. Now we're going to talk about the village of Leonard. Council, Village Council, and that was on March 11th.
Village of Leonard in
Yes,
Addison Township.
Addison Township. Great little town. If you've not been
Yep.
there, I tell you, summer months is just like stepping back into the 1940s, I think, maybe 30s. I mean,
Maybe
it's
20s.
Yeah, maybe 20s. I'm not sure. But anyway, the folks over there are very friendly. There's some pretty neat little businesses over there you should frequent. There's one place that's a party store that they make a fantastic pizza. If you've not been there.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, check it out. Well, Venditti's makes a good one too here in
Oxford.
Yeah, really good. So anyway, getting back off the pizza, I must
I've
be
had
getting
some of
hungry.
Venditti's. They are good.
Yeah, right. And a Spanky. You know what a Spanky is? No, not that.
Wasn't he part of our
It's
gang?
Venditti's. It's part of your game, yeah.
No, it was our gang.
Oh, our gang. Oh yeah, he was. I remember that little guy.
That's right.
Yeah, he's
The
all
little
grown
beanie
up. I'm not sure he's even alive now. Is he? Probably not. Anyway,
Movie stars never die.
let's get on with this Leonard
It freezes
Council.
them for life.
Yeah, it freezes them for life, yeah. Mike McDonald, of course, is the president, and Shar Sotheby serves on this board. A fellow named, or a person named Arundale Swank serves on it, and Kennedy. And Cindy Grosskopf is the clerk. She was there. And Judy Verse, who's the treasurer, was there. So you're not going to go anywhere far without the clerk or the treasurer.
No.
And I can tell you this much, Mr. McDonald is very knowledgeable. Well, he's been president, I think, for over
For quite a
12,
while.
14 years.
Quite a while, yeah.
Quite a while, and pretty sharp guy. Very astute as far as regulations and laws governing, Leonard and also in Addison Township. Good friends with Bruce Pearson as well. Okay, so here we go. Pledge of Allegiance, good. Minutes for January 14th was approved immediately. Agenda was approved immediately. Look at that, we're all done with this. No, we're not.
I was
Not yet.
going to disconnect here.
Okay, Treasurer's report.
Don't do that to me.
Well, I just want to see if you were listening, and I guess, occasionally he does.
I'm alert.
Right, he's alert. Anyway, he's usually a fire alarm alert, but anyway, he's alert. Treasurer's report, budget adjustments for 2018-2019 were approved, received, and filed. Bills, get this. Now, they have multiple areas that they extract funds from. One is the general fund, and that one's $27,175.21. Get your checkbook out. Major account, $4,270.88. The local account, $6,231.11.
Either one of those destined for the mill?
Well, the mill has its own separate account,
Oh,
and
the
right
fourth
now it's empty. No, they
Oh.
have no money in it, or they're not withdrawing any money.
Are they making any progress on it? On the
Well,
converting it?
They're trying to get a grant for it. The foundation has been the biggest problem in getting that straightened out, fixed. But there's structural concerns as well. And they are looking for folks out there, entrepreneurial, that would like to donate either time or some funding towards building this mill, because this is going to be a rather unique historical piece of
That's
property.
right. And it's right on the Pollyant Trail.
It
A nice
is.
place to stop off.
Yep, and what they're looking for is, of course, a place for you folks to stop off, have refreshments, that kind of thing, and just, enjoy the camaraderie of other people, using the trail, and also the people that are residents, from the little town of Leonard. And great hospitality there. And they just need to get this thing going. It's, I believe, the only one in the state of Michigan, it's being
I mean,
produced,
do they have
renovated.
a budget that says this is what it will take?
Yes, they do, and it looks like it's going to run roughly in the neighborhood, I can't tell you for sure, over 100,000 to complete.
Where are they now?
They would like to know that. No, they've got so many volunteers
Once you got a
that pitch
target,
in.
you
but-
can do fundraisers and everything
yeah.
else.
Yeah, they do. They're going to have fundraisers. They've had them in the past. People who have been very, what do I want to say, willing to give of their own private monies to assist this thing. And
Well,
a lot of people volunteering to work on it
There's
as
two kinds
well.
of equity. Money and sweat.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there is. And they do both. because these people do stick together out there in Leonard, as well as in Addison Township as well, and Oxford. Yeah, they do the same thing in Oxford Village and Township. But anyway, they had a call to the public then, and one thing was mentioned that there was glass broken on the street, on the sidewalk and on the street, and that it should be cleaned up. And the president took a note on it and said that it'll be taken care of. New business, DPW was noted at that time that their tractor is going to have to be replaced. So that it's getting to the point where it's costing more to keep it up and running than it is to replace it. And I do know that Parks and Rec here,
and that's usually the break point right
Yep.
there.
Parks and Rec, I know they do the same thing, and I was just talking to the
Plus, there's
director.
the inconvenience of it being offline.
Yeah, I was just talking to the director of Orion Township's Park and Rec, Aaron Watley, as well, and he said after a certain period of time you lost the life of the equipment, so you need to seriously have it within your budget to do it. Unfortunately, a small town of Leonard doesn't have a lot of money, you know, so unfortunately, and I will say that the president and the clerk, they chase after these grants every opportunity they get, and they've got a couple of pending grants right now that will help, you know, defer, you know, some of the issues that they have coming up. So we'll have to see what happens. Sanitary sewer. Now that's an interesting thing.
They don't have one, do they?
Well, here's the thing. You go out there and you stick a shovel in the ground and you get a geyser. Water table is really quite high in that area. I think when you build it on a lake, it'll squirt water.
There's no lake there, is there?
No, but it's kind of a lake, but it has grass on it.
Nice. And that's why they don't have to water their lawn, right?
Well, I don't know about that. They might drown. I don't know if the lawn can survive it.
So digging a sewer system would
Well,
be
they're,
treacherous.
well, they're looking at a municipal system that could be in place, and they're it's actually looking very viable at this point.
Are they thinking about
Not for everybody, but
localizing or tying into a bigger system?
well, it would be tied into a larger system, I'm sure. But here's the situation: not everybody will really require a municipal system. So they have to differentiate those who really need it and want it, as opposed to those that don't, that are fine.
How do septic fields work in a very high water table situation?
Well, they have to be specially engineered. There's no
Okay.
question about it.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot, you know, otherwise you have all kinds of surprises coming up.
Yikes.
So they, yeah, no, it has to be an engineered system regardless. But a lot of these folks
The
that build
raspberries
homes
look
out
very
there,
big this year.
a lot of folks out there though have already installed these engineered systems, so may not
Oh,
want to
okay.
go to municipal system at this
But an
point.
engineered system has to shoot it somewhere.
This is really talking trash at this point, folks. Anyway.
Well, where does it go?
I think David is telling us more than we really want to know. He could tell us a little bit more, though. What's coming up?
Well, we don't have that many
Not
meetings.
that.
We don't have that many meetings, but on 4/1 at 7 o'clock, the Village of Oxford Zoning Board of Appeals. Check on that one because often they cancel them. And on 4/2 at 7 o'clock, the Village of Oxford Planning Commission.
Right.
And that's it.
That's it. That's all you got, huh?
That's all I got.
Okay. Well, this is Minutes by Minute. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kennedy.
Catch you next time right here.
See you then.